What's going on, Salt Star Nation? You guys asked for it, so here it is. This is a jetty fishing video for bull redfish. Now, a lot of you guys made the request for a jetty fishing video for big redfish, but there weren't any really specific questions on what you guys wanted to see. So I'm just gonna give you guys a full overview of some recent trips that I took jetty fishing for some of these big reds. I'm gonna go over some of the rigs that I used, my positioning, things like that. I'm gonna sprinkle in some tips with some of this catch footage. So I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you have any specific questions, please ask them in the comment section below and I can get back to you there. Now, this first day out to the jetties was more of a scouting day to try and figure out where the fish were going to be holding at different parts of the jetty, which side they were going to be on, the ship channel side or the beach side, and what parts of the tide were going to have them most fired up for feeding at those different sections of the jetty. Now, my first plan, because I was going to be catching the end of the incoming tide, was to start on the beach side to see if there was any activity over there. Unfortunately, no large redfish nor slot redfish. It was just one small underslot that I caught on a finger mullet, just on a circle hook. So there was life on the incoming side. Again, it was the tail end. But as it slacked out and the outgoing tide began, I moved my stuff over to the ship channel side, and I knew that that current was going to be bringing some bait around a point in the rocks on the jetty, and it was going to be a nice little eddy where I knew that there would be some fish probably holed up waiting for an easy meal that current was going to be bringing to them. So I went ahead and got set up on the ship channel side, was not even finished setting up when I went to go help a gentleman unhook a sea turtle that he had caught while he was fishing. I had unfortunately put my rods in my cart instead of in a rod holder, and you guys will see here what happened next.
Man, he knocked all my stuff over. Feels like a pretty big drum. Son of a gun. Big red. Big red.
Now, for those of you who may be curious what I just caught that redfish on, it was cut threadfin herring. I wanted to use menhaden this day, but unfortunately the bait shop was sold out, so I had to go with cut threadfin. I had some mullet that I was using on the beach side. They just were kind of small, and I didn't think that the larger redfish would go for those as much. So I used the threadfin, and it actually surprised me how well it held onto the hook. It held on better than the pogies. I will say it's not as oily and it's not as smelly, so it might be a little bit more difficult to find if those fish were looking for it in dirtier water. If they were relying more on smell. I did not get a chance to test out the baits under those different conditions. It was pretty much clear water for both days. The second day, you'll see I did use menhaden, had similar success, but I just continued to use that threadfin, and after that first fish, put it right back out into that eddy where I had caught the first one. Hadn't even finished setting up my camera yet, and I got another strike. So that wrapped up my day of fishing around noon. I wanted to get back. I had some work I needed to do, and I planned to get out the next day to test out the same theory if I could catch that outgoing tide and find those redfish in pretty much that exact same spot. So I went back the second day under very similar conditions, clear skies, not a whole lot of wind, and again, an outgoing tide. So this day I did have some pogies that I was able to use, and I actually did film a video that we will have live. It should be live now, about how to create the exact same rig that I did and how to rig up the bait properly. I'll leave that for you guys to check out there so we don't waste time on it on this video. But just use some menhaden, put it down in that eddy again, and you guys will see it worked out really well. Now after that second fish, the current was really ripping. I started losing rigs in the rocks a little bit more, and I had a couple fish actually take me into the rocks, or some sharks were breaking me off. I'm not 100% sure which one it was. The fight happened really fast, so it could have been the rocks, could have been some sharks, but I just kept on fishing. I had a couple more rigs that I was able to make up, not the exact same rigs that I had been using in the prior day, but they worked just as well. As you guys will see, I'm using a different type of rig right here, but you can see how quickly the current is moving. I actually had not even gotten to the bottom yet before I had gotten this strike. So after that fish, I continued losing tackle, and I fished until I ran out of the stuff that I needed to make rigs. So I packed it up and headed home. But I wanted to make this video to show you guys that there are tactics for jetties. I know a lot of people go out there and just put rigs in random spots and don't take consideration of the tides, which side you should be fishing, eddies, things like that. So I wanted to make this video to share a couple tips and add to kind of your arsenal of tactics that you can use when you go out to hit the jetty. And if you guys want to see a little bit more details of where I was fishing, positioning, things like that, where I break things down a little bit more, we do have a full insider report in the Salt Strong Insider Club that you guys can check out if you are insiders. If not, highly recommend you guys join us. We do a lot of spot breakdowns, not just at jetties, inshore fishing locations, offshore, things like that, and really help you guys understand what you need to be doing when you go out on the water to maximize your success. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and we're looking forward to seeing you at saltstrong.com.
And if you're new to Salt Strong, just know that we're the best online fishing club in America, because we literally guarantee we're going to help you catch more fish while saving time and money on your tackle. We do this by providing you with premium education, a private insider community with thousands of reports published daily, and discounts on the best saltwater fishing tackle in the industry right now. So we're looking forward to seeing you join us in the Salt Strong Insider Club soon, and thanks again for watching.